Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool happening in a small Minnesota town called Hastings. They're tackling a problem that, let's be honest, most of us have, just trying to keep up with what's going on locally. Their solution involves launching 2 daily podcasts, and the model they've built is pretty fascinating. So let's start with a feeling we all know. You know when you miss a great local event, or you're totally surprised by a road closure you should have known about? It's because all that information is scattered everywhere. Social media, emails, flyers. It feels almost impossible to keep up with what's happening right in your own backyard. This quote from the local news outlet HastingsNow.com just nails it, right? They figured out that the core problem isn't a lack of information. It's what they call a signal shortage. There's way too much noise and not nearly enough clarity. And that is the exact problem they decided to solve. All right, so here's how we're going to break down their whole approach. First, we'll look at the specific problem they were facing in Hastings. Then, we'll see how they're using podcasts as the solution, we'll meet their 2 new daily shows, and we'll explore their really unique business model. And finally, we'll talk about why this local experiment could actually be a blueprint for towns everywhere.
Okay, let's get right into it. We're focusing on Hastings, Minnesota, which is this classic American river town where all the important community updates, stuff like city council decisions or school events, were just getting completely swallowed up by all the digital noise online.
You've got this classic battle, right? On one side, there's all the noise, a messy jumble of social media posts, emails, and flyers, all kind of at the mercy of whatever the algorithm decides you should see. And on the other side, there's this simple, powerful need from the community. Just give us one single, reliable place to get the daily updates that actually matter.
And, it wasn't just residents feeling this. Local businesses were feeling it big time. They were completely stuck in what Hastings Now calls the post, boost, repeat cycle. They'd pay money to promote their news on social media, but it was just exhausting, and honestly, it wasn't very effective. It just wasn't cutting through the noise.
So if just shouting into the social media void isn't the answer, then what is? Well, Hastings Now turned to a medium that millions of us have already built right into our daily lives: the podcast. I mean, it's wild to think about how far podcasting has come. It really started as this niche tech thing back in the early 2000s, got its official name in 2004, and then just exploded when Apple put it right into iTunes. And today, it's a huge force in media, especially for news. And look, the numbers here really tell the story. Nearly a third of Americans now use podcasts to get their news. That's a massive shift. It tells you that on-demand audio has become this really powerful and trusted tool, which makes it perfect for a local outlet to tap into. Okay, so let's get into the specifics. What does this solution actually look like? Well, Hastings Now didn't just launch one podcast. They built their whole strategy around 2 different daily shows, and each one serves a unique purpose for the community. So their 2 pillars are called Local 10 and Weather Plus on this date. One is this super fast briefing of the day's top 10 local stories, perfectly designed for your morning commute. And the other one cleverly mixes something useful, the weather, with a little bit of fun, local history. They're both short, they're punchy, and they're made to fit super easily into anyone's routine. The Local 10 is really the heart of this whole thing. It's designed to become that essential daily habit for the community. But here's the key. It's not just a podcast. It's a multi-format briefing. They offer the exact same need-to-know info as text, audio, and video, so they're meeting people wherever they are and making it incredibly easy to stay informed. And this focus on earning your trust, it's everywhere. Take the second podcast, Weather Plus on this date. It doesn't just give you the forecast. It specifically tells you it's from the National Weather Service, and it cites its sources for all the historical facts. It's a tiny detail, but it says everything about their commitment to being transparent. Okay, but here's the million-dollar question for any local news outlet, right? How do you actually pay for all this? To make this work, you need a sustainable business model. So this whole project is way more than just a couple of podcasts. It's a brand new ecosystem for local news that totally avoids the old-school advertising traps. One of the coolest innovations is this feature they call soundbites. The best way to think about it is like a community bulletin board, but for your ears. Local business owners or community leaders can record short, 30-second voice updates right from their phones, which turns the whole platform into a real two-way conversation. So this is the really clever part, their sponsorship model. Instead of annoying banner ads, Local businesses can become local voice partners. They get one big feature week a year to really tell their story, and then they can use those sound bites all year long to give helpful, timely updates, not ads. It's a model that's built on partnership, not interruption.
And to make sure this whole thing doesn't just turn into more noise, they're keeping it exclusive. The program is limited to just 52 founding partners in its first year. That makes sure that every partner gets a real spotlight and the community isn't getting overwhelmed.
All right, let's pull back and look at the big picture here, because this isn't just about one small town in Minnesota. This experiment could be a powerful and maybe even replicable blueprint for the future of local news everywhere.
Man, I love this quote. At its very core, the whole project is built on this powerful idea. Trust isn't just a feeling you claim to have, it's something you earn through your actions, through a transparent process. By citing sources for literally everything, from the weather to history, they are actively showing their work to build that credibility.
And when you do it this way, the impact just ripples out across the entire community. Residents finally get that clear signal they were missing. Commuters get content made just for them. Local businesses get a real, authentic way to engage with people. And maybe most importantly, local journalism gets a sustainable model that can actually work in the digital age.
And really, this philosophy is the engine driving the whole thing. It's a shift away from thinking of people as an audience you market to, and instead treating them like neighbors you're trying to help. It's all about communication that's clear, helpful, and above all else, trustworthy. And that really brings us to our final thought. With local news struggling in so many communities, what if this model, built on daily habits, real trust, and community partnership, is the key? What if the solution to strengthening the local signal in your town has been in your ears all along?